Well, good afternoon and welcome to The Place. I'm Nate Sally.
And I'm Kelly Smith.
Today on The Place, we are joined by Dr. Steve Rice of the Vision Clinic. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks for the opportunity.
We are going to learn so much today. Go all the way back to the early history, founding of Vision Clinic.
Well, the Vision Clinic has been in the Ozarks and an important part of the Ozarks for going to be 60 years. And the first office was on St. Louis Street, right across from the Galois.
1967. That is incredible. You partnered with the Vision Clinic in 1989. Tell us about some of the changes.
We've had lots of growth because the communities have supported us, and that's been awesome. When I came in '89, Dr. Lynn Herndon, he brought me down here to Springfield. We went to optometry school together. He brought me down here, said, "You want to come to Springfield?" I said, "I don't know where Springfield is." Came down here and fell in love with it. Now we're up to 14 doctors in 6 locations. The culture is super, super important to us. And the patient experience is super, super important to us. And being on the leading edge of eye care is important to us.
You brought the first soft contact lens to the area. That's pretty significant.
That is very significant. Yes,
so
it is.
We like to be on the leading edge, but we sometimes say it's the bleeding edge.
Oh, there you go.
That's a good way to put it.
No, Dr. Summers and White, to their credit, in 1967 was the first soft contact lens. Think that we have a contact lens you wear once and throw away, and mind-boggling. And now it's just the norm.
You know, I love to hear this, Kelly, all the time.
history,
and I know our viewers do as well. Dr. Rice, how did you get your start? Was this something you were passionate about?
No one in my family had ever graduated college. But my mother had told me, you know, hundreds of times, you got to go to college, So I'm trying to decide, what do I want to do? Freshman year in high school, put down a list of things that I would like to see. Wanted to be my own boss. I thought I'd love healthcare. I love the sciences. I love taking care of people. I wanted to be an important part of the community. Those were kind of my things that I wanted. I say now that the Lord was looking out for me because He directed me somewhere that I can't imagine a better profession.
When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about how your family's involved.
So much more to talk about.
So much.
Well, once again, it's time for our daily coffee break, sponsored by our wonderful friends at Wendy's, and we have some amazing questions for Dr. Rice. First question, aviators or round?
You have to go with the aviators. Tom Cruise kind of, when he did his Top Gun, brought that back, and everybody had to have aviators.
Okay, square or Wayfarer?
Interestingly, Tom Cruise was also very instrumental in bringing the Wayfarer back.
This is incredible.
Yes, we knew Tom Cruise had fashion sense.
Thank you. Cheers to you.
Cheers. So
That was our
cheers to
Wendy's
you.
coffee break.
Yes, it
break.
was.
There's a fresh cup waiting for you. When you started your practice, the partner said no family.
No family.
That didn't work
Think
out
about
very
that.
well, did it?
I think that falls under don't ask for permission, maybe forgiveness.
That's right. That's a good
So
rule.
doctor, turns out my son went to optometry school, and he met a young lady, and she's an optometrist, so Dr. Kevin and Sandy are also in the practice. My daughter Stephanie ended up being an optometrist as well. She's in the practice, and then our youngest married couple, Dr. Courtney and Whitlock and Trey Upton, they're both married. We didn't heed the no family in the practice role.
Well, and it's gone well.
yes,
You have
it has.
passed on an amazing legacy. Dr. Whitlock, you just mentioned, you know, my wife and I go to the Vision Clinic. We love it in Ozark, your Ozark location. And Dr. Whitlock is my doctor, and she's amazing.
Yeah.
So welcoming when you walk in. The atmosphere is incredible. It's absolutely a fabulous place. But we were talking a little bit about astigmatisms, and I said, Dr. Rice, when I go in, they say, I've got an astigmatism. Am I saying that right? And what exactly does that even mean?
Well, it is funny when people hear they have that, they think it's like a death sentence.
That's what I thought.
But astigmatism, means not, and stig means point. So what that means is when light comes into the eye, the front surface of the eye is supposed to be spherical, bends the light to a single focus point in the back of the eye. Astigmatism means that you have not a spherical front part of the eye, but an aspheric cornea that has powers that are 90 degrees away from each other. And each of those different powers bends the light to 2 different points in the back of the eye. So we have to correct 2 different prescriptions to get the light to be on one focus point. That's what astigmatism
Which means,
sense,
Nate, you cannot wear a contact. You have to wear the glasses, and they look great, right?
Yes.
Believe it or not,
Yes.
that's not true.
Did you know that?
I did not know this.
Okay.
I'm learning this right now.
Now you can go get some contacts, some weighted contacts. We are learning new things every day.
Yes, we are. Dr. Rice, thank you so much for that information. Well, you know what else I find fascinating that we were talking about a little earlier? 80% of children learn through vision. That is fascinating to me. Tell us about that.
It's an incredible stat that is real. The interesting thing about when you're young, a lot of times kids can see really well at distance, but that's not where learning occurs. Learning occurs here.
Right.
And so they might pass their vision screening because they can see the chart, but then when they go to try to read, the eyes don't focus together, they're not teaming together, they're not comprehending because of vision issues. So we want to try to make sure that children have an eye exam by an eye professional before they get into first grade for sure, preferably before kindergarten, because we can identify those. So there are lots of statistics that show a big percentage of folks that are incarcerated have uncorrected refractive errors. In other words, they had trouble, they couldn't see, body doesn't like to do things that it doesn't like to do, so they didn't read or study, and they ended up doing things that were not good.
Great reason to get your kids checked, because they might not even know what's wrong.
That is fascinating information. Listen, can you stick around?
Sure.
Okay. More with Dr. Rice when we come back after the break. Make sure to stay tuned. Well, welcome back, everyone. We're so glad that Dr. Rice has chosen to stick around with us for a little more fascinating information. Something that's interesting is the Mercy optometry clinics have recently closed or are closing. What does that mean for you?
A lot of patients are going to be looking for care. It's a pretty tricky thing for the communities. We want to make sure that folks know that we see Mercy patients. We've been in the Ozarks for almost 60 years. We love taking care of folks. So if you don't have a doctor, you're looking for a place to go, we'd be happy to help you out.
You have 6 clinics, and tell us where those are.
We have 6 clinics, 3 in Springfield, 1 in Ozark, Nixa, and in Branson.
Okay. So for someone who has not been to the vision clinic, that is looking to schedule an appointment for the first time, how do they go about that?
Well, they can go to our website, myvisionclinic.com. They can actually schedule an appointment there. They can call the office to schedule an appointment.
Could we just talk about some of the things that you do at the clinic? Because we just learned something today. Nate didn't think he could have astigmatism fixed. What are some of the things that you offer there?
Golly, one of the things that's so awesome about my profession is there are thousands of things that we can do. And one of the great things about being in the industry for 60 years and loving to be on the leading edge and remembering that the eyes, yes, vision's important, but eye health and even more so general health. So diabetes is very important. We have lots and lots of diabetic folks. You've got to get an eye exam because we can kind of look at the retina and tell you if there's anything going on in the rest of your body.
Isn't that good?
I love how you said the eyes are a window to the soul.
And the body even.
And the body. Isn't that a truth? What a privilege and a pleasure to have you on the show. Would you talk about one more thing that I've always been fascinated about? Yeah, 20/20 vision. I mean, when you think of the eyes, the first thing you think is 20/20 vision.
That's the best.
But what exactly does that mean?
Well, 20/20 is lets us know how big of a letter you can see at 20 feet away.
Okay.
So Snellen is the gentleman that came up with this. And so it used to be, if you got your eyes examined back in the day, the exam room was 20 feet away. 20 feet, how big the letter is. 20 was kind of that determined size that if you see that, your vision's excellent. 20/40 is 2 times that size. 20/80 is 4 times that size. So 20/20 vision means that you can see a certain size letter at 20 feet. When real estate started costing more, they optically folded rooms. So when you come in now, the room is 10 or 11 feet long, and that's why you look in a mirror, because your eyes think that what you're looking at is 20 feet away.
Interesting.
Very
Isn't that
interesting.
so interesting? There's so much more we could talk to you about.
Oh, I love it. It's fascinating.
So many questions, yes.
But listen, congratulations on 60 years.
Thank you.
Celebrating 60 years since 1967.
Yeah,
Kelly.
that speaks volumes.
That speaks
you cannot
volumes.
replace experience. So if you're looking for an eye
So
doctor,
true.
or if you had one and they're not there any longer, this is where you need to go, because they have experienced doctors, 14 of them,
Oh my
family.
gosh.
It's a great place.
Yes,
Thank
it
you
is.
so much for being
Dr.
here.
Thanks for the
Rice.
opportunity. I appreciate
We
it.
appreciate
Enjoyed
you.
it. Thank
Tomorrow
you.
on The Place, Wonder Works from Branson.